Have you ever wondered if your cat really sees you as family? It's fascinating to think how these felines, famous for their independence and reserved manner, approach us in an almost unexpected way. Deep down, while they parade around the house with that air of nobility, they observe every detail, taking note of the gestures and care we give them. And although they always seem to be immersed in their own freedom, there is something very special that binds them to their owners. Cats are masters at camouflaging emotions, displaying affection at the most unusual moments. A low meow, a gentle nuzzle, or that soft purr at the end of the day. These are gestures loaded with meaning, almost like a secret code between the two of you. Perhaps, without realizing it, you have become the most important figure in his life, someone he has chosen as his human. And when he snuggles in your lap or simply rests next to you, it's not just about physical comfort. It's a sign of trust that few can decipher. Interesting, isn't it? In the wild, a cat's instinct is to protect itself, to depend on no one. But in the domestic environment, it seems to make an exception for those who earn its respect. It's almost as if he's saying, "I chose you to be part of my life." Many owners spend years with their cats without understanding this bond, thinking it's just proximity for convenience's sake. But there is something deeper that connects the two, an invisible and authentic bond that only those who observe carefully can notice. And it's in this way, with small daily gestures, that cats reveal how they feel. Each slow blink, small lick, or strange gift left at the door is a direct and sincere message. They don't worry about impressing. On the contrary, they just act as they feel. And it's in these moments, these little demonstrations, that he shows you how much he sees you as a familiar presence, a home. Because for him, love is not synonymous with possession, but with being by your side. Who would have thought that such an independent creature could nurture such loyalty? His every gesture is a mystery to be unraveled, a silent invitation to a deeper and more genuine bond. Cats are masters of silent communication, and if you look closely, each gesture reveals a world of meanings. That slow blink they make, almost like a sleepy wink, is one of the greatest signs of affection in the feline universe. When your cat winks at you like that, it is telling you, in its own way, that it trusts you. It's as if he's letting his guard down, a rare moment for those with hunter instincts, where he makes it clear, you are someone safe for him. And then there are the gifts he insists on leaving at your feet. Little surprises ranging from insects to lost socks, each selected with inexplicable affection. To us, it might seem strange, or even a little unusual. But in the feline universe, this is an act of extreme consideration. When they bring you these gifts, they are sharing a piece of their world with you. A rare gesture of sharing and generosity. Like a true friend, they find ways to participate in your life. Another subtle sign of affection is when he cuddles up close to you. Sometimes even at your feet or in the corner of the sofa, but always within easy reach. They may not want intense physical contact, but that closeness is a way of creating a bond of security and protection. For an independent animal like a cat, this is one of the greatest gestures of affection, a clear sign that it values being by your side. In its unique and reserved way, it shows you that you are part of its routine in a special way. When he lifts his tail and holds it erect, especially when approaching you, he is also making it clear how much he trusts you. A raised tail is a symbol of greeting and respect, a gentle way of saying, "I'm glad to see you." And if he purrs softly while you're nearby, that's the most genuine sound of contentment, a little song of gratitude. The purr is like a direct connection between you, a vibration that carries more than comfort. It carries a message of peace and joy. These small gestures, almost imperceptible to some, are ways for the cat to show that, in its language, you are part of its family. They don't need big demonstrations. They prefer subtleties, almost hidden signals, and it's up to you to decipher this complex language of feline love. When your cat follows you around the house, from room to room, it's a gesture that goes beyond simple curiosity. Despite its independent nature, it shows that it wants to be part of your routine. This behavior in itself is a demonstration of affection and trust. For an animal that values its personal space so much, accompanying you is like a constant reminder that it wants to be where you are, almost as if it were saying, "I'm your partner, your faithful follower." And when he decides to settle down on your lap, even for a few moments, it's a real privilege. For many cats, direct physical contact is not frequent, and every time they choose to lie on you, they are giving themselves over to a moment of vulnerability. There, on your lap, they feel protected, cozy, knowing that this is a safe space. And even if he only stays for a few minutes, every second is a symbol that he has found a safe haven in you, a resting place where he can let his guard down. Another obvious gesture is when he lies down next to you, but on his stomach, exposing his abdomen. This is a rare posture for cats, who normally keep their vulnerable points protected. By exposing his belly, he is showing that he trusts you blindly, proof that he feels nothing bad will happen to him. This gesture, as simple as it may seem, is one of the biggest signs that he sees you as part of his family, someone he knows would never hurt him. There's also the habit of staying by your side while you sleep, perhaps even climbing into bed or snuggling up in a nearby corner. His presence there, in silence and tranquility, shows that he wants to be part of your moments of rest. He understands that this is one of the times when you are most vulnerable, and by staying there, he acts as a feline sentinel, someone who watches and protects you while you sleep. For him, this is a subtle way of repaying the security you provide. And if you've noticed that he likes to knead with his paws, that rhythmic and delicate movement, you should know that this gesture has its roots in the childhood of cats, when they were still kittens. This kneading is a reminder of times of comfort and security at their mother's side. And by doing this to you, they are reliving that feeling of protection and affection. It's as if he's saying, "I feel at home here. I feel good." In the wild, cats are solitary and territorial creatures, living most of the time in a constant state of vigilance. Every move, every step taken in the wild is carefully calculated to avoid predators and ensure their own survival. Wild cats, such as leopards and cougars, spend their lives on the alert, relying only on themselves. But in a domestic environment, something remarkable happens. This same cautious and independent animal lowers its defenses and begins to form bonds with its owner. It's a fascinating change in behavior that reveals the power of this bond. Unlike wild animals, which only tolerate the presence of others when breeding or protecting their territory, your domestic cat acts as if it were part of a small colony that includes you. This behavior is rare and valuable in the animal kingdom. The act of being by your side, fetching you around the house, or even bringing you presents is, for them, a way of creating an alliance, something that, in their instinct, means mutual support and security. In other words, he sees you not just as his owner, but as a reliable partner. This bond is also reflected in how he responds to your care. In the wild, a sick or injured cat will hide, avoiding being seen so as not to attract predators. But in the domestic environment, it comes to you, accepting care and showing signs of vulnerability. They allow themselves to be stroked, seek your warmth, and even receive medicines that they would otherwise reject. This behavior shows a degree of trust that many animals would never develop with another species. In addition, wild cats keep a safe distance from any being they consider a threat, avoiding interactions that could jeopardize their safety. But a domestic cat breaks this rule in an extraordinary way by choosing to sleep next to you or even escort you around the house. It's an almost symbolic action, indicating that, for them, you represent a protective presence. In the animal world, this is extremely rare. Few species are able to trust another creature so completely. These displays of attachment and close coexistence with you are proof that he has found a refuge in your home that replaces the threats of the wild. Every gesture of affection, every attentive look, is a reminder that he feels not only protected, but genuinely at home. Now that you know these signs, how about paying more attention to the way your cat interacts with you? Observe every detail, that affectionate look, the way he snuggles, or even the gifts he leaves. These little gestures speak much more than words, showing how much he trusts and feels connected to you. It's amazing to realize how our cats, even with all their independence, find a real family in us. And if you want to delve even deeper into the fascinating universe of feline behavior, there's much more to discover. In the next video, we'll explore even more signs and curiosities about the minds of our four-legged friends. Don't miss this chance to understand your cat better and strengthen this unique and special relationship even more.